Hi everyone, our video blog this week, we're here at City Hall and we'll be in the community in a few minutes. I'm with the portfolio manager here at the City Hall and at the City of Ottawa for the Public Art Program, Julie Dupont. Thanks for joining us.
My pleasure.
We're here in the City Hall Gallery, which is, doors are always wide open, and there's a special collection that's ongoing until the 29th of January.
Yep, every year we show the new acquisitions into the city's art collection. So whether they be commissions, donations, or the direct purchase program, all of that gets shown at the end of the year, and it's a huge party for the opening because it really brings together a lot of people from the arts community. It's fabulous.
The gallery this year has the name Signal, which has a couple of portions. Obviously, all of the public art for Phase 1 of Light Rail, which are now in place. We'll take a look in a few minutes. And then there's some elements, some art that we've purchased, and some art that was donated.
That's right. So the gallery bisected the exhibition. So on this side in the Carche-Masson space is the donations and the commissions, and then the other, the City Hall Art Gallery, are all the direct purchase things that were brought into the collection. And honestly, I walked around this year and I thought there isn't a single thing in there that I wouldn't want in my home. Like, they're all amazing.
Let's take a look. So Julie, we're standing in front of the entire collection of the state for each station. How long does it take to bring together such an impressive array of public art? Usually you see it on one street and that's one program, but having to do it for 13 stations, what was how did that all come together?
This was the biggest public art project that our program has ever undertaken. So the artists were brought on board in 2012. We had the first volley of artists who were brought in as part of the design team, so they were just brought in on their qualifications. So they worked with the design team, the architects, engineers, that sort of thing, to develop concepts through an iterative process. And then we had another section of non-integrated art, so at 6 of the theme stations, and those artists came in with proposals, and that was adjudicated. But for us to be in a project with so many moving parts, with such complexities attached to it, and then helping guide the artists through that was a pretty monstrous job.
Each station has a character, it has a design feature, it has a different space. I think of, for example, an exterior station, more like, for example, University of Ottawa. We're going to meet the artist Kenneth Emig in a few minutes, but that's really external to the station. It sort of bookends the station in many regards. While if we move to Rideau, we'll see both, right? This one is kind of the bookmarking of the station. It's a feature. This one is integrated, where the payment zone is split at Rideau, and then there's a glass so that you could see the trains come in, and at the same time there's an art feature here. So that's Geneviève Cadzier's piece.
Yep.
How was your team able to curate and bring together and see, like, okay, this will make sense for a station like Rideau, for example?
So Geneviève did one of the integrated competitions. So we had an adjudication process. We had a large call, so it was local, and then it expanded to a national call, and the jury selected her. And then we also, the curating part actually came in with what artists were going to go into what stations for the integrated projects. So we spent a lot of time working as a team. With the architects on the project and the art consultants and our office to figure out who was going to go where. And then it was Geneviève with the architect who developed where her art was going to go and what it was going to be. So
I assumed she knew exactly along the last, so that's even more of a discovery for an artist, and it evolves the thought. Oh wow, quite interesting. So when people go into Rideau, they can see how it looks. Kenneth, thank you so much for taking the time today. I'm always excited to meet local artists on the site. I believe in the public art program, and I love to showcase art in our community. Talk to us about, we'll talk about the specific art in a few minutes, but I want to know what it's like to be an artist, to go into the opportunity to do public art, and then specifically in part of the LRT. How did it work? Did you know you were at the station? And how did you envision your art fit into the U Ottawa piece? And what's the meaning behind it?
The city has a percent for art program, which is a big differentiator between a lot of other communities, where the percent goes towards public art, commissioning original public art for infrastructure projects, of which the LRT is one. And I feel honored to have my artwork selected to go at the University of Ottawa station. The theme of the station was innovation, and having the opportunity to put something in place that causes people to think a little bit, especially people going to university. That's just wonderful.
Fitting. Yeah.
It's fitting. You can't ask for something better.
So did you know when you put your proposal together, you applied specifically for U-Ottawa Station?
Yes.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah. The sphere represents the reflections of an internal space. I did a piece called A View from Two Sides, which is on the Adaway Crossing in Strathcona Park.
Which I'm very, very, very involved with. I mean, that was a very important connection for our community, connecting east part of the river to the central part of our city. It's interesting. What's the link between the two pieces?
The bridge represents the exterior reflection, and sphere field represents an interior reflection. So when we look inside here, we see the reflections of things going on inside of the cube, but it also takes in the influence of the architecture that surrounds it. The changing University of Ottawa architecture, the architecture of the LRT station, and the passing traffic and the passing trains.
We've had very positive comments from students, from the university administration, from users of the LRT, so congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for your contribution to our community art. Thanks for your contribution to art in Ottawa. I'm always happy to meet artists, and especially these two pieces at the Adaway and now here at the University Station.
Thank you. It's actually a complete honor to have both ends of Somerset East.
You've anchored the community, absolutely.
Thanks.